Ants. It is likely that you see them every day, whether on a hike, in your backyard, or your kitchen. You see them running around seemingly chaotic, yet they manage to create impressive structures, find and transfer food, and generally react to the environment and get the job done without any planning or leaders. But how? The secret is collective behavior. Collective behavior is when group outcomes arise from the aggregated response of many individuals. There are three main parts that make up collective behavior. Context, the environmental factors that affect the group. In an ant colony, it could be weather or new food source. Process, the algorithm of behavior that does not have any greater intention. It is simply programmed into the ant's genome. And the outcome, the behavior of the whole group. It is basically the overall result of algorithms and interactions between ants. In other words, different events trigger certain types of behaviors in every individual in the group, which make up the overall behavior of a group. It's like elections by popular vote. Every vote counts. Different people also vote for different things, based on the situation or the context, and the outcome is the action or the change based on the results. Besides, ants don't understand what the overall goal of the vote is, acting solely upon different if-then algorithms. To understand the collective behavior of a colony, let's look at an individual ant and what it can do. Well, most ants are capable of detecting motion, sensing objects like food and water, as well as distinguish between the ants in their colonies and foreign ants using their antennae. Ants also can determine what other colony members are doing by analyzing the hydrocarbon profile of the other ant with their antennae and how many individuals are doing a certain task. Let's look at how ants forage for food. When a foraging ant finds a patch source of food, it creates a recruitment trail back to the nest. More foragers use the pheromone trail to get the food and bring it back to the nest. Ants of the same colony interact with each other every time they meet, so if an ant gets enough interactions with the ants that bring food to the colony, it becomes a forager. When an ant comes back with food, it stays in the entrance of the nest, and if ants that come in later have food too, it leaves the nest to get the food again. But what if the resources are scattered randomly in the area? A high rate of interactions makes the ants make sharp turns, covering the area more efficiently. When there is a big searching area, ants travel in straight lines to cover more ground and be more efficient. Collective behavior is actually common in biology in complex systems. For instance, many species of bacteria use collective behavior to cooperate. For example, bioluminescent bacteria in the ocean uses chemicals to communicate and only turn the lights on when there's a certain number of bacteria present. Some decentralized systems in human society are often not much different from ant colonies. Therefore, we can make computer simulations of systems that involve collective behavior to solve problems. Reducing traffic is one of them. Cars and traffic are much like ants. By making computer simulations of traffic at a specific place, we can determine what the problem is and resolve it by changing the context, like adding an extra lane or a stop sign. Changing the context and looking at the outcome of the simulation will find a solution. But what about changing the algorithm? Self-driving cars could almost completely get rid of traffic by implementing collective behavior, communicating with each other, driving at the same speed, and not being selfish, much like ants.